Mesa Boogie, finally! So jamming in C minor now. I'm getting a lot of good vibe from the tone now. Hopefully you guys also get a decent sound now. I'm gonna be tweaking the sound a little bit because I think I'm very close to having something that's both like touch sensitive and fairly warm. So let's see. could try increasing the gain a little bit to get like more fluid tones. I think this guitar is up for it, but we have to make some changes. Try this. I'm still just using like the clean channel of my my amp, but yeah, for those who missed, I finally got my Mesa Boogie amp back, and it seems to be working, so I'm happy. I'm kind of scared to death that it's gonna not work anymore, because then I'm gonna have to send it to the States, and I really don't want to do that. But it seems stable, and so what I was saying was I haven't even ventured into the overdrive or the high gain channel. I'm just sticking to the clean channel and, you know, experimenting with some pedals. I love doing that stuff. Make me say, wow, what's up? So let's try. Vintage icon. I wish it was a 60s Strat, but it's not. It's a cheap guitar with expensive bare knuckle pickups in it, and an expensive amp and expensive pedals, but the guitar is cheap, or relatively cheap. The reverb and delay quite a bit. Let's see. What's up? Blues, I love the blues, man. And you know, a lot of this stuff is definitely, you know, blues inspired. So sustain, it's a tricky one. You know the saying that your chain is never going to be stronger than its weakest link, right? So if you don't let the note ring, if you move like in the middle of a bend, if you make some tiny adjustment to your posture, you can kill the note, right? So that's the start. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure the notes are kind of sustaining coming from your guitar, and then of course the instrument is gonna have an effect as well. Typically Strats don't have the same amount of sustain as like a fixed bridge guitar like a Gibson Les Paul or something. As you can hear, it's decent. I do have a compressor engaged, that helps a little bit. And then the amount of distortion you have, so all that goes together. I can't give you better advice. Sorry. Because of this amp, karaoke amp, could very, very well be the amp that's the problem. So the amp I got back, thanks for asking, is a Mesa Boogie Mark V. It's my trusty amp. I've had it for 15 years. But it wasn't that trusty a few months ago when it stopped working. And, you know, nothing wrong with the amp. It's been serving me well. You know, I've always played it at like studio levels, so I haven't never really pushed the amp that much. Haven't even changed the output tubes. I haven't changed any tubes except the rectifier tube. So, yeah, it needed a little bit of, you know, love and care. So, but I got it back, and fingers crossed it'll work for a long time now, because I really don't want to send it to the US again. John, you like it? Awesome. Fender Bullets. I've heard good stuff about them. This is not a Fender. This is a vintage icon. Nice fake guitar. I actually did buy it with the scratches, but I did buy a lot of modification to this. I swept the pickups, I've scalloped it, I've fret leveled it, I've crowned it, I've shielded the inside. I have a pretty complex switching scheme here, which I've used quite a bit just throughout this session. I'm using 6EL6 right now, but you can swap it for EL34 on this specific amp, but I prefer 6L6 much more, which is the standard. Well, that's what it comes with. What's up? Oh, it's interesting. You say you always wanted to play Dave Gilmour songs, because to me there's a little bit of Dave Gilmour in the sound here. I don't know. I mean, especially if I turn off the gain. We can try that. Let's see if we can get some more juice out of it. So I can turn on some audible compression, and it's gonna sound like Dave Gilmour. Okay, now lots of compression. Let's see. Yeah, we got my man Hit. What's up? So my day is going pretty good since I finally got my amp back. It's been a major headache, but it's now working, and fingers crossed if it'll keep working for another 15 years, I'm gonna be super happy. prefer the clean sound. Pretty nice. Let's see if we have another backing track here. More sustain, yeah, we can definitely add a bit more distortion here. Nice guitar, thank you, Simona. Let's try a different sound. Cool, Fender Stratocaster in white, that's a lovely color. It's not that far from this one, I guess. What's up? So I just finally got my Mesa Boogie amp back. So there's a lot of tonal joy happening. It's just very cool to, be able to go through all the different voicings of the amp and just cool, great sounds after great sounds. So that's what's going on. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, Simone, how do I pronounce your name? In Swedish it would be Simona, but so this is a loop I recorded a few months back. Plug 3, never tried it. Simon, the looping station I have is Ditto Plus. But this is coming from the computer now. Nicki Minaj, yeah. My daughter, both of them actually listen to, especially my youngest. Yeah, I've heard some cool stuff. I couldn't name you the songs though, but definitely. I don't know if you heard there, but I went from 90 watt to the 10 watt mode on the amp. It's pretty cool you can do that switch. I do generally prefer the higher watts because the amp is so flexible. You can turn down the output volume and still get the benefits of the increased headroom and different kind of tones. No, this is a Mesa Boogie Mark 5 90 watts. It's 15 years old. I bought it new. I've had it since then. I don't know what the new reissues are the ones you're speaking about. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very interested in those, but I've noticed them popping up. But I do feel that they have like the smaller version of the Mark V. It's like 525 and 535. They seem interesting, but I guess that was pre-Gibson. I don't know. I don't know when Gibson bought the company. Thank you, Walter. I'll try. Actually, I much prefer the 90 watt mode, so I'm going to go back to it now. I can't get enough of tweaking this amp. I don't know if you'd like to see when I tweak it. I could probably manage to throw in another camera angle. Okay, so the new Gibson Boogies, the reissues. Yeah, I guess that's... well, I'm not going to comment on that, but... can you imagine people think that? But if it's like a... perfect replica of those iconic amps, I guess it's okay, but it may be more for the collectors then. I don't know. Gaby, what's up? Rex, I'm happy to try to give you advice if I get to know what you're seeking advice for. So, how do you play fast successive notes? Okay, so how do you play fast? It's a big topic, but just some key pointers. I think people get it wrong. First of all, you do have to repeat some like exercises or whatever drills to get started. But there's a bit of a misconception there, which I also suffered from during my first years of practicing. Yes, you got to work on it for a long time, but it's not smart to take one exercise and think, well, at least I'm going to learn to know this one really. I'm going to learn to play this one really well, and if I don't learn anything else, at least I'll be able to play that fast, and then just practice that for like a couple of years. That's a bit silly. It's much more effective if you're gonna really hone in and torture yourself with practice to constantly change what you're practicing to kind of focus on your weaknesses and strengths. And what that means is basically if you notice there's a movement you have problems with, well, try to come up with an exercise that only focuses on that movement. And on the other side of the coin, or whatever the expression is, if you're really good at something, then you should stop just practicing it as an exercise and start including it in your leads. So when jamming or writing a solo, or try to maybe write a new lick that builds upon that lick. So that's a number one. Repetition is good, but you got to be smart about it. Number two is probably also one of the most overlooked. I understand that many people want to get fast and they want to do it quickly. But what tends to happen if you try to push it too fast is that you're basically going to be tensing up all the time. And the sad thing about that is it's going to have the opposite effect. In fact, it can get so bad if you're just tensing up more and more the faster you try to play, that it's basically going to prevent you from ever being able to play fast. So whenever I've encountered a student that is really physically unable to play faster, you'd think that it wouldn't be possible. It's just a practice thing, right? But it is possible if you're applying more and more strain when you're trying to play faster. So the solution in that case is, of course, to kind of go back and work on being relaxed before you try to increase speed. Those would be my number two, but there's a whole bunch of other things to consider, but I think that's a good starting point. Hur länge har du spelat gitarr? Gnome, I've been playing guitar for almost 30 years now. You should grow your mustache. Yeah, of course, this is a lady magnet. And if you check the videos I recorded just like 3 months ago, I didn't have the mustache. I didn't have any chicks. Now they're all over the place. Can't get rid of them. Just kidding. It's a girl you really like and you really want to dance with her, and she said she's too shy for it. Okay, I suggest you tell the girl that you're really interested in her and you fully understand if she's too shy for dancing. But maybe there's something else that you can do with her, and you can try to, to your best abilities, try to figure out what that could be. You could either ask her right away, is there something else you would like to do with me? I really want to hang out with you. Or you could suggest something else, like let's go to the movies instead, or let's take a long walk in the forest, because that's what Chris likes to do, and he has a nice mustache. Just kidding. So that would be my advice to you. If you're really shy about, or she was the one who was shy, sorry. She was too shy for dancing, then don't dance with her. Do something else with her. And of course, if she keeps telling you she's too shy or she doesn't want to do any of the things, then maybe you can start to suspect that she's not interested. It doesn't have to be that way, but it could be. Who am I to give you advice? I'm really crap at this. But if that's the case, you should move on. There are lots of other girls out there you can meet. Is this in the US? No, this is in Stockholm, Sweden. Though my mustache might look American, but it's not. Ah, Rex, I should be your dad. So you think the advice is good then? I'm surprised. Don't blame me if it doesn't work though. Okay, so yep, we're actually playing guitar here. Let's do some major. Oh, yo, this is freestyle, though not freestyle rapping. Hey, yo, I can't do that. I have no beat in my body, mate. Can't even rhyme. What's the time? How do I put my hands? Also a big topic. I prefer this posture, this natural posture. So whenever I can, I have my thumb up here. The only time when you can't do this is either when you need to stretch. If you want to stretch out, then you got to bring your thumb down. You got to drop your thumb. Or like for a bar chord or something, you'll discover that it's not handy to have your thumb up here. But for every other application, especially when bending, it's super important to have the thumb up here. Chris can give every advice. Well, try me. I'm happy to try. I don't play the middle by Jimmy Eats World. Sorry, mate. Chris went from guitar teacher to a romance advisor. I like it. Well, guitar is all about conveying your feelings. So why not? How can we play the guitar with feeling if we're not in touch with our deep inner within? That's important. So that was the left hand, right? Yeah, I spoke about left hand posture. Lots of variations here, it's a big topic, but the right hand, it totally depends what you want to do, right? If you want to be riffing or strumming, you might have a big right hand movement. You can see my hand is doing this, right? And if I want to play like maybe some faster lead lines, it's going to be the opposite. You can barely see any movement, you know? Oops. So there you couldn't really see my hand moving. So I went from doing this to doing this. So the guitar is not a very dynamic instrument, at least not comparing to vocals or saxophone or something. So the only way we have is really to hit the notes hard and hit them soft. So you really got to make use of that. I don't think it's acceptable to just disregard that when our instruments, like I said, they're not very dynamic by nature. You really have to work them hard to get differences in levels. And why is that important? Well, music sounds boring if you don't have that. It'd be a little bit like I speak like this all the time. You would get very bored because it's not very interesting to listen to. It's the same level, nothing happens, and really boring. You know, we need the fluctuations in dynamic and timing and all that. And timing is easy, or it's not easy, but timing is not like a known issue. But dynamics are, you know, especially if you're playing with distortion, every note is going to be almost the same. So make use of your right hand. You gotta make larger movements to get a lot of, you know, powerful tones, or get the attack and all that nice stuff. But also smaller movements whenever you want to play faster, whenever you want to go down in dynamics. So for example, if we have maybe we want to do some softer. Play soft and do, or, and even though I have a fair amount of distortion, it's going to sound different because I'm feeding the amp with a different signal when I'm hitting it hard and when I'm hitting it softly. Sebastian Paul, I remember you. Were you at the GMC Forum, perhaps? Into learning, you're back into learning to play the guitar better. That's awesome, man. We're in the same zone then. I'm also there. Another thing I like to do is to tap the delay in the right tempo. Sebastian, that's right. Time has passed, man. 15, 20 years later, it's a different site, it's a different world, it's a different internet, and many of the people who were active back then have completely different lifestyles and preferences and priorities. We do have a few active instructors, which is awesome, and I also produce content from time to time, but it's definitely different. But it's very cool. So you've been active then, because I did remember your name. Twist. Oh yeah, that was Twist. We spoke of that just a few days ago. Okay, so if you want a legato exercise, there's a lot to choose from, and if you're more advanced, then this might not be for you, but I think there's a very simple one that really helped me, and that's just your like one finger per fret kind of exercise. And it's bad in the sense that it's not so musical, but it's awesome in the sense that it really practices all your fingers, and I think it's fairly easy to get a hold of. So we're just going to do something like this, and then the same thing with the next finger, and then finally that's in its basic form, and you wouldn't have an interruption in between, so you don't want to be playing anything like that. Instead you want to slow it down and do, so you can do a seamless transition to next finger. Now, I did it from the 12th fret to the 9th fret. You can do it, and you can and should do it anywhere on the guitar and on any string. That's really the point of it. And you know, the better you get, you can move it down a little bit. Just be careful with the wide stretches, that can hurt you. But that thing, what that does, basically opens up for more of a like the. In the long run, it's definitely an enabler for that kind of stuff. So even if you're just doing, sounds boring, but when you get more comfortable and you can adapt the fingering to fit the scale you're playing in, then it gets very interesting. So that would be my basic exercise, and it's really effective. If you do that, even like the 2-note per string pentatonics is gonna feel easier after a few days. So basically these kind of licks, right, where you do your pentatonic. Because that movement, legato movement between these two fingers, it can be found within the exercise I gave you. So it's a very cool thing, I think, to start out with. Sorry, I don't know until I found you. I wish I did. Yeah, tired of that track. I'm gonna do one with a bit more groove here. Let's see. I had one here. Where is it? This one. Not that one. This one press. Yeah, this is a tighter loop. You gotta play in time here. Gotta think about it actively. I just gotta open the window here. It's getting warm. Gandalf, what's up? Okay, but I think it's time to see if we can dial in maybe some other type of sound here. It would be cool to maybe find a high gain sound. Let's see. Exactly, Massimo. We can do more of that stuff with a better sound. Or a better suited sound. Oh, this guitar. Severely out of tune. I must have done some crazy stuff. Yeah, I recorded some really crazy riffing videos with it recently. Oh, see. Like 2 whole steps down and crazy stuff. I don't like this at all. Yeah, James, what's up? Definitely rocking out. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do. This is just the amp now. Let's try it with a bit of reverb. Let's try boosting the signal a little bit, see what happens. Too much. So I'm adding a booster in front of it now, the MXR. So that was not good. Let's try. Let's try maybe the tube screamer. It's a little bit bass heavy. So I think I have some metal backing tracks that I've produced with one of the instructors at GMC, Javier Aviles. And pretty cool. Let's see them. It's called, I think, Metal Ballad. D minor. Trying to fix the levels. I'm not 100% sure what you guys are hearing because I'm also lining part of the signal to you guys to give you a better sound. So let me know if levels are totally off, if you can't hear the backing or you can't hear my playing. Okay, so guitar is louder. I suspected that. Sorry, don't know Mary had a little lamb. Is that a volume drop? Yeah, not fun. Could be the tubes though. Okay, I can hear the backing track. Let's tweak the level a little bit more. Frank Zappa. I don't really listen to him, no. Joe, is it better? Oh, I play like Frank Zappa. Thank you, thank you. I hope he doesn't bend out of tune as often. Can't even play. Is the guitar still too loud? Do you also think that? Can do this. Okay, tweak it some more. Again, if I only had a mic in the room, it would be easier, but I'm also lining the guitar amp to you guys to give you a slightly better sound, but that's why I can't hear exactly the same as you guys are hearing. Ho, ho, ho. So I can't really raise the backing track because that will blow my ears, so I'm gonna lower the guitar a little bit more. about the backing track, but we can change backing track as well. I'm still trying to refine the setup here, so that's why I haven't played with the backing track for quite some time. Oops, wrong key. So G sharp. Just gonna fix the delay. Yeah, Steve Morse, I like him from his solo albums. I think they're really cool. He had a lot of like the high tension wires, and also like his first Deep Purple album, Perpendicular. That was probably one of his best, well, I think one of his coolest solo spots there, and really cool tracks as well. Palm muting. So I use obviously the side of my hand, palm here, and place right where the string starts. That's the most important thing. You don't want to do it too far up. It's got to be right where the string starts here at the bridge. So you can do So your arms shouldn't really get sore out of palm muting. That's just a matter of resting the hand here. Maybe you're referring to these fast down picking. That's very demanding, you know. So take breaks, and in general, if you want to improve your speed, it's usually better to practice quite a bit below your comfort speed, and then occasionally you can try bursts. But if you're just trying to play along with your favorite song and have problems keeping up, then it might be a good idea to instead practice with the drum machine or metronome, so you can really Aha, your fingers don't obey. My fingers don't obey either, even though it might look like that. It's just a matter of kind of raising the bar all the time and just trying to make sure your worst isn't that bad. And then if you're lucky, you can be lucky when recording or something, but it's always a struggle for, you know, making those fingers obey. B minor. Now I can barely hear the guitar. How are levels for you? So as far as I can tell, my spoken is louder than... Cool, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun hanging with you guys, and I think we covered some ground. We went from like a super, almost clean dynamic sound to this high gain shreddy thing. And I want to thank you so much, as usual, for tuning in. You've been the best, and I've been Christopher Dahl. Hope to see you soon again here.